Let's continue with the exercises for plural in the nominative case. Very important for us to understand the patterns, to be able to use these patterns. But before we will start, I wanted to introduce myself. Because some of you wrote in the comment section on my videos that you don't know my name. Well, my name is also on a Russian online university. You can find it more or less in many places. However, my official name is Leonid. You can call me Leo. You can address me with Leo. And well, my friends, family, people who know me, they call me Lyonya. Lyonya. So try to pronounce it. Lyonya. The problem with Lyonya is that for foreigners it's difficult to pronounce nya. Try to pronounce it. Nya. Nya. Lyo-nya. Nya. Nya. Not nya, but nya. 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 Can you hear the difference? So, Lyonya. Don't worry if you cannot pronounce it properly. I won't mind. Just address me with Leo. Let's continue with the plural. First word, let's take машина. Do you remember the translation for машина? Ma-shi-na. Машина. With the emphasis on E. Машина is car. After sh, we should write E, even though pronunciation is машина. Машина, car, ends in a, and everything what ends in a is feminine. And the plural would be машины. Ma, she, ne. Again, with the emphasis on E, there is no floating emphasis here. Well, what happened here, we replaced a with I. And well, this is the pattern. If you see a word and you know it is in singular, because some plurals got I in end, and if plural got I in end, it might as well be also a masculine word. However, машина, машины, if you know this is a singular word, it ends in a, it must be feminine, and to establish the plural, you simply change a for I. Машина, машины. Let's try to exercise with улица. Улица is street. У-ли-ца. Улица, with the emphasis on U. Write it for yourself, the plural of улица. Streets. Улица, улицы. У-ли-цы. Улица, улица. Again, we replaced a with I. Easy, isn't it? Буква. Буква is letter. Буква. Буква. Replace a with I, and you will get letters. Букв. With the emphasis on U. Буква, буквы. Газета. Газета is newspaper. We already know this word. Газета. Газета ends in a. It is feminine. All of the words ending in a. All of the nouns in singular ending in a are feminine. Газета. Replace a with I and try to pronounce it. Газеты. Газеты. Газета, газеты. With the emphasis on E. Газета, газеты. Звезда. Звезда is star. Звезда. Звезда ends in a. What would be the plural of звезда? So, according to the pattern, it would be звезды. However, it's not звезды, it is звезды. Звезды. And звезда, emphasis falls on a, but if we got yo, the emphasis falls on always on yo. So, звезда, звезды. Don't worry about this. It is difficult to recognize, it is difficult to know and memorize where the emphasis is falling and that ye should change to yo. If you forget or you don't know this, don't worry about this. Just follow the general pattern, replace a with y, and if you tell once to a Russian, звезды, first Russian will understand it, and hopefully he or she will correct you. Don't worry about this. They will always understand you, that you want to explain something about plural of stars. Звезды, звезды, звезды. So the right way is звезды. And for the translation, star, not only the sky body, the cosmic body, the star, but also Angelina Jolie or Brad Pitt. Somebody famous is also a star in Russian. So звезда is also a movie star, for example. Сестра. Сестра. Сестра, with the emphasis on the last a. Try to make a plural of сестра. Well, according to the pattern, it would be сестры. However, again, we need to change ye for yo. Сестры. Сё. С. Т. Ры. A is changing to y, and the emphasis goes from a to yo. Сестра, сестры. Floating emphasis, also unexplainable. You need to memorize this. If you pronounce сестры, everybody will understand you. Don't worry about this. Сестра, сестры. Sister, sisters. Школа. Школа is school. Ш, ко, ла. Школа. Ends in a. It is feminine. What would be the plural? We replace a with y. Школы. Ш, ко, лы. Школа, школы. With the emphasis on о. Школа, школы. Комната. Комната is room. Ко, м, на, та. Комната ends in a. It is feminine. What would be the plural? Комнаты. Ко, м, на, ты. Комната, комнаты. A is replaced with y. And try to recognize where is the emphasis falling. Try to recognize it from my pronunciation. Комната, комнаты. Комната, комнаты. Комната, комнаты. I'm stretching a little bit o. Can you hear this? Комната, комнаты. And also my intonation goes a little bit up. Комната, комнаты. Well, the emphasis is on o. Комната, комнаты. Try to recognize the emphasis. Школа, школы. Сестра, сестры. Звезда, звезды. Газета, газеты. Буква, буквы. Letter. Буква is letter. Улица, улицы. Street, streets. Машина, машины. So write all of those words down. I hope you already wrote them down with the emphasis, and try to stretch and raise your intonation on the emphasized letter. Lampa is lamp. Lampa. Lampa. With the emphasis on a. Lampa. What would be the plural? Лампы. Lamp. Lamps. Lampa, lamпы. Lamp, lamps. Кофта. Кофта is pullover. Ко, ф, та. Кофта. With the emphasis on o. What would be the plural? Кофты. Ко, ф, ты. A is becoming y, and the emphasis stays on o. Кофта, кофты. And now let's try to make singular out of plural. Горы. Го, ры. Горы is mountains. It ends in y. We don't know the gender now. It's difficult to recognize the gender if you don't know it. Hopefully you understand that gore refers to mountains. But let's assume you know the gender of gore. You recognize it from adjectives or from the sentence. What would be the singular? Гора. Go. Ra. With the emphasis on a. Горы, emphasis on o. Горы, гора. Горы, гора. Can you hear the difference in pronunciation? In the singular, the emphasis falls on the last letter, on a, and because of this, o is pronounced as a, гора. And in the plural, горы, гора, горы. You cannot know this. You have to learn this. You have to listen to this probably hundreds of times before you start pronouncing it the right way. However, if you pronounce it the wrong way, but you got the right idea in your head, it's absolutely fine and people will understand you. And actually, this is also the reason why I'm repeating so many times Russian words. I write once on a monitor and I'm repeating it for 5 or 6 times, so you can hear it, you can exercise the pronunciation and the emphasis. So, гора, горы. Квартира. Квартира is apartment. Квартира. К, ва, р, ти, ра. Квартира with the emphasis on e. What would be the plural? Квартиры. К, ва, р, ти, ры. А is becoming y. And again we got emphasis on e. Квартира, квартиры. Гостиницы. Го, с, ти, ни, цы. Гостиницы. What would be the singular of гостиницы? First of all, because it ends in y, we cannot really recognize the gender of гостиницы. At least you cannot recognize. I know the gender of гостиницы. However, let's assume you know that гостиницы comes from a feminine word. What would be the singular? Гостиница. Го, с, ти, ни, ца. Гостиница. Гостиница. Гостиницы. With the emphasis on e. Y and a. So the only thing which is changing is the ending from a to y. Гостиница, гостиница.